Hey guys, so welcome to our homestead. I thought today we would give you a full garden tour. So we'll start on this side, which is right here by the entrance that we just came through. Over here we've got some bulbinella and we've got some potatoes we're growing in a container. We're very excited about these. They've started to flower, which Duncan tells me means that they're going to start making potatoes. So we can only hope. And over here we've got this container full of wood chips drying for inside the chicken coop, and our wheelbarrow full of strawberries and some garlic chives. Okay, this wheelbarrow is full of strawberry plants and garlic chives. The garlic chives have gone through a little bit of a rough patch. They got hit quite severely with aphids, but we did treat the plants and they have made a recovery. So my plan with this wheelbarrow is to take any plants off of the runner, the like daughter plants,
The pups.
and plant them into the soil and secure them and fill this wheelbarrow up again with strawberries.
Okay.
Over here we have our roses. So we've got 3 varieties of roses. Here we've got a beautiful pink rose. We don't actually know what variety this rose is, but we just call it the love rose. And down here next to our love rose is a rose we got from Ludwig's Roses. Is it Ludwig's? Yeah. And this particular rose is called Lemonescence. Next to that we have a large pink rose. Again, we don't know the variety, but we call her Big Pink, and she's absolutely stunning. Here above them I've got 3 terracotta planters. In this first one I do have a catnip plant in here. However, I don't think it's going to make it, but we'll try again by putting seeds in. This is an oregano plant my mom gave me, and it's dried out in our severe heat, but it isn't dead yet. There is still a bit of hope, so we're going to see if we can nurse this one back to health. Then we have a parsley up top here, and it's coming along quite nicely as well. And just to the side of that we have our potting bench, or our seed starting bench. And we currently have a few things on the go here at the moment. We've got spring onions, we've got Texas grand onions, my 2 dragon fruit plants that were given to me by Small Urban Greens. So thanks Sam, that's amazing. Here we've got kale, parsley, orange cauliflower, so cheese cauliflower, as well as some Ashley cucumbers, some Brussels sprouts, and some Swiss chard. Then on this side we've got some gold zucchini and some regular zucchini, as well as some kohlrabi, calendulas, broccoli and basil, and in the very end some nasturtium seeds. Our beautiful rose garden. Our roses bounce back so well after their pruning. We even had some of our impatiens settle in, and our marigolds took well, so this little garden bed is starting to fill out. And we still have some fruit on these vines, some that are ready to be picked. Over here we have a blueberry bush and the orchard that by now most of you are familiar with, where we have an apricot tree, an avo tree, a lemon tree, a fig tree, and a lychee. On the opposite side of the orchard is the chicken run. As you can see, here are our girls, and there are the 3 little pups. Everybody's doing well. And then that brings us to the vegetable patch. As you walk in along the path, it brings you to a bit of a T-junction that veers off on either side, and this is often referred to by us as the Lion Garden. In this corner over here we planted some black beans, And we have a black varietal of tomato that we were gifted by my mother-in-law. We actually picked the first one today. It didn't turn black though, so I'm not 100% sure if all of them do that. And some black beans, and there are actually a few black beans that are ready to be taken off and to be harvested. And you know that they're ready because the shell is actually dry and you can hear the beans rattling on the inside. So we'll come around and harvest those pretty soon. Some more at the back here and a couple down here too. Then we have another dahlia, a white one. If we take a step back, in this particular area we have another one of those black tomatoes from Auntie Pat, some marigolds, and another dahlia, a red and yellow variety. Our dahlias, however, seem to be struggling a fair amount from powdery mildew, so we'll probably have to cut them back pretty soon just because we don't want that spreading throughout our garden. So this is the bean we planted under the impression that it was a bush bean, and I think it's pretty evident that it is not. So we would term this a runner bean. Other people would call them pole beans. Whatever it is a creeper and it is taking over. This one plant is not only climbing this pole, but has also stretched up, and I've tucked it in here, and it's continued to spiral its way further along. So I'm not angry about it, considering I had to remove the beans off of the chicken run, but at least this bush is producing a lot of beans. Then today I actually swapped around the pots that were hanging here. We had 2 strawberries and a nasturtium, which are now in the entranceway, and I removed the 3 impatiens that were there. They started to discolor and they really didn't like the amount of sun they were getting. I actually think they were getting too much sun there. So somebody had told me that impatiens prefer the shade, so since this area is slightly shadier, I thought we'd give it a shot. So I just hung the 3 baskets and positioned them in a way that they don't harm the bean.
This particular garden, it's looking a bit sickly. It looks like we've got some blight. I know we've got aphids and mites and whatever else. I need to do a spray. We always only do organic sprays as well. But yeah, unfortunately a few of these are done for. They won't recover, but the fruits on them at least we can ripen as long as we can keep this going. So we've got 2 money makers over here and 2 Julia Childs. The Julia Childs sadly have pretty much bought the farm as well. These are what they would, well, what you would class or term indeterminate tomatoes, which vine. And what I like about those is you can grow them vertically. We just use jute or twine and tie them up. You spiral it up the runner. Now with those tomatoes, the 2 money makers and the 2 Julia Childs, behind that in the same bed we've got a Rodade, which is a determinate tomato. It sets a certain amount of fruits generally at the same time, and they ripen more or less at the same time. It gives you 1 harvest off of a plant. It's generally quite a big harvest, but they are quite, I wouldn't say finicky to grow, but they need a lot of attention. Staking, we use bamboo stakes. You stake it tight up, make sure that none of the leaves are touching the floor, or the ground at least. That transmits disease very quickly, and mold and blight and all the ugly stuff you don't really want. This plant's also looking a bit sad, but it's producing well. Then in the front here, I suspect we've got another money maker that's been taken over by the bean Ally was telling you about earlier. Also not doing too bad in the same bed. We've also got a lot of the chickens have got into this, but the fruit's ripening at least. We've got yellow peppers, sweet yellow peppers, that are surprisingly ripening at the same time as well, more or less the same time, and those are ready to come off, just about. Free up a bit of space there. Those plants could actually come out. I don't think we'll overwinter them or try and revive them. There's two more in the back. The jalapenos are doing quite well. You can't see the peppers on them at the moment, but they're there. And we've also got a Tabasco pepper, which is ripening quite nicely as well. Looking forward to that. Going to try our hands at some Tabasco sauce.
So back on this side we've got some echinacea, some marigolds and some lavender, and in that container over there a marigold and 2 cucumbers, which are not doing as well as expected, but have each produced a cucumber so far. Then this is our long purple eggplant, which does actually have some fruit on it. They're not very big at the moment, but we'll see how they go. And then over here we have some of those pepper dews that are ripening. And sadly this little guy looks like his days are numbered. And if we come along the pathway here, we have a line of beetroot and a line of carrots. Just behind the carrots we have some purple king bush beans, which have definitely been the most successful year of growing that varietal for us. And as we come through we have green leafy veg dotted everywhere. We've got Swiss chard and we've even got dino kale. And our dino kale, we have 3 plants at different stages of their growth, so hopefully we'll have a healthy crop of kale coming in. Stepping out of the garden here, I actually think Duncan covered the vast majority of the items growing in the garden, and I just wanted to point out that these 2 are tomarillo plants from my mom, and then we have our herb garden. So we've got some thyme in this pot, and this one. However, this thyme is nice and healthy. This thyme looks like it's dying, and this thyme is being smothered by the oregano. But that's okay, because I'm going to come through here and I'm going to prune this back and use everything that I've pruned off of there as a harvest and make some mixed herbs out of the thyme as well as the oregano. And when it comes in, we will add parsley to the mix. And over here we've got some hen-picked spinach, which was looking really good. And I think they enjoyed themselves. At least somebody got to eat it. At the bottom of this bean plant, we've got a yarrow. I've had this plant for 2 years and it's never flowered, so I'm not even sure if it really is a yarrow or not. But it's alive and it's pretty, so we're keeping it. Then over here we've got 2 hen-picked pepper dews, a container that I've just recently planted out with mustard greens, and we had lettuce. Again, at least someone ate it. A Heinz tomato, a bay leaf, the mystery flower, and Duncan's mom's tree. Hey guys, so I just want to say thanks for joining us on the tour tonight. I hope you enjoyed having a more in-depth look at our little garden and what we're growing, and hopefully you'll be able to track our progress too. Here's to happy future harvests. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye.